Warner Brothers Games, yeah, they are a pretty big deal in the world of game publishers. They've released a lot of bangers recently. I mean, the main one definitely is Hogwarts Legacy. This actually was the best-selling game of 2023, so yeah, very big cash cow for Warner Brothers. They've also got Multiverses, which has been doing pretty well recently, but they've also had quite a bit of flops, mainly recently Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. That was a AAA title that was very poorly received. It did not get good reviews or sales at all. So much so, in fact, that a little bit after this game's release, they decided to make public that they were less interested in AAA studio games and more interested in focusing on these live service games, games that can just bring them constant revenue. Now, in the grand scheme of things, that was still, pretty recent from now. I mean, that was just a few months ago when they said that, so I don't know how that plan is going these days, but it sounds like they are really wanting to shake things up, mainly due to the fact that the Warner Brothers Discovery stock has actually plummeted. It has dropped 70% since Warner Brothers and Discovery merged in 2022. Yeah, the stock started at $25 and, right now it is sitting at $7.50. And, a new report that just broke is indicating that Warner Brothers Discovery is very interested in the sale in a lot of the stakes in their video game studios. It's looking like they are mainly focusing on people buying out smaller assets. These smaller non-video game related assets are involving mainly like broadcasters, so I'm seeing something called TVN is one that they're interested in selling. And as far as stakes in their video game division, they are interested in offering, I guess it looks like a fraction of certain studios. And yeah, allegedly they are more interested in selling the smaller assets because I guess this would avoid a complete corporate breakup, so to speak. Like, I guess there are rumors that Warner Brothers and Discovery are maybe wanting to part ways just after 2 years of being together. I'm seeing that Warner Brothers Discovery is really wanting to keep what they consider as their 4 major franchises, basically their 4 major cash cows. Those are Mortal Kombat, Game of Thrones, DC, and Harry Potter. So those 4 IPs earn them a ton of money. They are not interested in selling those, but it kind of sounds like everything else is kind of up for grabs, or at least shares of them are up for grabs. Now, overall, I mean, all things considered, I would say that, in layman's terms, this is not good for Warner Brothers Discovery. Obviously, this does not mean that they're in a great position financially. If they're interested in selling some of these assets, typically they would not be wanting to sell them. They would be believing in the success of all of their assets, but that is just not the case here. The current market capitalization of Warner Brothers Discovery is around $19 billion. It looks like this is way less than what they were hoping for. I'm seeing at one point that they had a goal of $60 billion. I don't know exactly where that comes from or how accurate that statement is. But if that is true, I mean, yeah, they're less than a third of the way there. So, I mean, we will have to see, if they are continuing to go this live service route. Obviously, when they made that statement about live service games and them wanting to embrace them after the failure that was Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, obviously more time needs to pass now for them to actually develop and release some live service type games to see if this strategy would actually work. No doubt these live service games, I'm sure, will incorporate, at least to some degree, their 4 big IPs that they talked about: Mortal Kombat, Harry Potter, DC, and Game of Thrones. I don't know everything that Warner Brothers has up their sleeve. I mean, they got some great games, they have some not so great games, and overall, financially, it looks like they're just not doing very good, so I don't know what the absolute overall strategy is here, but what I do know is that they are wanting to sell some of their assets. All things considered, that is not a great look for them.